What is up, guys? My name is Stan64, and today we will be playing Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Released back in 1988, this game was an odd one to say the least, and there's a reason. As most of us know, this game was originally called Doki Doki Panic. Originally released in Japan under that title for the Famicom Disk System. It was reworked and reskinned into a Super Mario game in order to fill the void between Mario 2 and Mario 3, as the original was deemed too hard for American audiences by the Game Tester of America at that time. In this game, you get control of 4 different characters: Mario, Luigi, Toad, and Peach. Peach being the most notable here, as this is her first playable appearance, being later retconned back as the kidnapped character, but in the more third-party games, she is relegated to a playable role once more. What's the point of playing all 4 characters? Well, like in Doki Doki Panic, they are assigned special abilities. Mario is the overall-round character, and does not over or underperform like most of the other characters. Luigi has less grip, but does have an increased height in his jump, allowing him to get higher than any other character. Peach is something I forget, but she does have that gliding ability, though she has the lowest strength of the group, meaning she pulls turnips out the slowest, while Toad is the exact opposite, as he can pull them out much faster. The turnips in these games, or just general vegetables, can be thrown around and used against the enemies, like Shy Guys and Beezles? I forget its name. But anyway, that leads us to the reason I like this game. It's just generally fun, and marks Luigi's first distinction, at least in the American titles, for his signature abilities, his weak grip and his floaty jump ability. This goes on to influence his character within the further games, besides just his general abilities, which I find generally interesting, as this would be the origin of Luigi's character in general, and that's really fun. And I believe was also influenced by his Super Mario Super Show appearance, which takes place at some point between Mario 1 and Mario 2, as it includes fire flowers and a lot of the sound effects and characters from Subcon. Which leads us to our new characters, which includes this Mauser. Mauser is a enemy boss, which can be encountered at every few levels, besides the generic Birdo. He will throw bombs at you that you have to reflect back to get him to hit him instead, so you can progress after the 3rd hit. Now, Birdo is a dinosaur-like entity and predates Yoshi, as it's one of the first dinosaur-like characters in the series. Well, besides Bowser, but he is more of a turtle of sorts. Now, of course, there's other characters which are introduced here, like, for example, the Pokey and the Shy Guy, which become prominent characters within the series, as well as Sniffets. Now, there's other characters like Ninja and Claw Grip, which is a crab-like character and one of the other bosses. Now, there's also characters like the infamous Phanto, which can appear once you picked up a cursed key, which will make you run around while trying to find an locked door, all the while you're being chased by this mysterious mask. Now, this was very odd and slightly disturbing, but A lot of these characters do not exist within the Mario universe, but were used for strictly the series. While a shame, it makes sense, as there's many other characters that can be used and make a lot more sense, like Swoop and Galoombas, which is introduced in Mario World, but that's another topic entirely. Now, I am supposed to review the NES version, but I do recommend, again, the Super Nintendo version, as it is much better than the original NES title. Even the GBA version as well, which includes a bit more content. It even includes the original Mario Brothers. Look, I'm not the NES guy, I'm just the Nintendo guy. So you really can't doubt me for liking other games from different systems within Nintendo's company. Back on track, Super Mario Bros. 2 takes place in Subcon as you traverse multiple levels within this dream world, which hence the name Subcon, further explained later in game. At the very end of Super Mario Bros. 2. At the very end is the infamous wart, used in the original Doki Doki Panic, and was later reused for, oddly enough, another dream-based world, used in The Legend of Zelda: A Link's Awakening for the Nintendo Game Boy, which I find really neat, as Shy Guys, oddly enough, also do make an appearance in this game. It's all weird, but it makes sense for the dream theme, which consists between both games. You have to hit Wart with a ton of turnips when his mouth is open, causing him to choke on the infamous vegetables, before making him fall for the first and final time, as you finally enter a door which leads you out to a victory screen, which tallies up how much each character was used and who the MVP was at the very end of the game, which varies depending on your playstyle. You may like Mario, you may like Peach, you may like Toad, you may like Luigi. I like Luigi, if that wasn't obvious enough, because my boy Luigi is just awesome in general. No matter what people say about Luigi and his clumsy behavior, he is the most powerful of the Mario crew within these games, and even outside of them, including in games like 3D World, which is a title I have yet to play, but I really want to, especially since online play was included with the Switch version, which includes Bowser's Fury, which was released about a year ago now, which is kind of freaky. But anyway, that leads us to the end of the game, where we realize that this has all been a dream within Mario's mind, and what some theorists say takes place during the Japanese version of Mario Bros. 2, in which you play as Luigi, as one of the two choices, which also includes the higher jump and sliding ability, which, coincidence? I think not. So, anyway, that marks up Super Mario Bros. 2. And honestly, just for the premise and gameplay alone, I gotta give it at least an 8, because it's a good game, but it's not a Mario game. It succeeds in everything else, but doesn't fit well, and it being retconned within its own game is a little weird. So the story and general Mario style, so I'd give it a general B. It's not too bad, but it's not all that great as a Mario game, at least. I definitely would recommend playing this version over Doki Doki Panic, as for one thing, it hasn't been released outside of the Famicom, so the only way to play it now would be to emulate it, which Nintendo wouldn't like at all one bit. And two, the NES, GBA, and SNES version is a lot easier to get your hands on, as being available on Switch, Wii U, SNES, NES, and GBA, GameCube, Nintendo Wii, but it just depends on which version you like. Some people like the NES original, some like the SNES, some like the GBA. I prefer myself the SNES version, as it has the nicest graphics without any downplay, and is the easiest to get access to, as a Switch is a lot more prominent to get your hands on, allowing you to get easy access to a good version of the system, of the title, as it is really fun and is just a generally good game. Which is why a lot of people like the game, they just don't adore it, because it doesn't scream Mario, which is the main sticking point with a lot of people when it comes to this American sequel. It just doesn't play like a Mario. Unlike our next title, Super Mario Bros. 3, which will be happening at the very end of June. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy for you to getting through this video, and thank you so much to the Shadow Mario 3 for editing this video for me, as I have to be back at summer school for a little while to further my education. I'm sorry I couldn't edit this myself, and thank you, Shadow, for just being a good friend. Please check him out in the link in the description below, and you guys have a good one. Peace out, my 64 fanatics.